Okay, good evening, everybody. Let's start with today's topic, percentage profit and loss. Before we start with the topic today, quick point, everybody. Sign in with your actual name. In case you have a doubt, let me please finish the slide. Keep your doubt in mind. At the end of each slide, I will ask you if you have a doubt at a particular point. Then we can discuss each and every doubt. Don't worry. If you have solved a question by any other approach, we can also look at that approach. The agenda in percentages, the entire percentages topic is percentage, increase, decrease, change, successive change, as in when there are subsequent changes. There's a change on quantity and there's another change and so on. What do we do when there's a net change of zero? And then obviously an application of percentages, which is profit and loss. We all know about selling price and cost price. We'll also look at a third character in this story, which is mark price, which you also know as maximum retail price. And how are they all connected? We'll look at that. But one very important point before all of this, the entire percentages part, the formula not really that much. They are not really the important part. The important aspect in percentages is flexibility of numbers and number manipulation. And what do I mean by number of manipulation? Your four basic criteria, your table 1 to 30, your squares 1 to 30, your cubes 1 to 20, and your algebra identities. If you don't remember what your algebra identities was, refer back to your class 8, or we'll obviously discuss this when we come to the polynomials classes. A plus B whole square, A minus B whole square, and so on. We had a set of algebra identities. They are very important. If I look at the entire arithmetic topic comprises of around 12 to 15 questions in your 34 section quant paper. Percentages itself will account for probably 2 or 3 questions in quant. And then of course, we may have an application in DI. We may get a tabular form, we may get a pie chart, we may get a bar chart, could be anywhere. Percentages could be used anywhere. So numbers are very important. Formula, not really that much. In fact, there's only 2 formula in this entire percentages part. Couple of shortcuts, couple of applications, but formula as such is not that important. Numbers ki flexibility, numbers ka manipulation, that is much more important for us. Let's understand what is percentage. Percentage literally means per 100. So any number that I convert to a base of 100, that will become percentage. For example, if I have a 2, I can write it as 2 upon 1 into 100, and then it will become 200%. I have a decimal 0.23. I'll multiply by 100%, it becomes 23%. My fraction 1 by 4 multiplied by 100 becomes 25%. If I have a ratio, and this is something that we'll discuss in the next concept when we come to ratio and proportion. If I have a ratio, 2:5, I have 2 parts here, 2 and 5. My total is 2 plus 5, 7. So 2 refers to 2 parts out of 7 into 100, becomes 28.3%. 5 refers to 5 parts out of 7 into 100, becomes 71.7%. And then again, percentage itself is relevant. I scored 20%. Do you know how much do you know how well I scored? No, obviously you don't, because you don't know the base. So a percentage always has to be associated with the base. The base is very important. what is 25% of 900? So 25% of 900. As a quick point, if I have a percentage here, let's say 23%, I can convert it to 23 by 100, vice versa, or I can also write it as 0.23. I have 97%, can be converted as 97 by 100 or 0.97. So if my question is what is 25% of 900? So 25%, 25 by 100 of as in into 900. I can solve this and I can get my answer as 225. What if my question was what is 30% more than 600? So 30% more than 600. 600 plus 30% of 600. So I can't say 600 plus 30 by 100. Again, that percentage value has to be associated with the base. 600 plus 30 by 100 of 600. Solve it. 600 plus 180 comes out as 780. Similarly, if I had a question, what is 40% less than 600? So 600 minus 40% of 600, which is 600 minus 240, which will come out as 360. So when the concept is about increasing by certain percentage, I'll add that part. When I'm reducing something by X percent, I'll do 1 minus X percent of that number. Yahin pe, let me change the color for a minute. Let me give you a better understanding. Yahin pe at this point, if I take this 600 out common, can I write it as 600 into 1 plus 30 by 100, which is 600 into 130 by 100 using LCM. I hope everybody knows LCM. If not, let me know at the end of the slide. And now this number becomes 6 into 130, which is 780. Similarly, if I 600 common here, this is 1 minus 40 by 100, 600 into 60 by 100 becomes 360. I can solve it either ways, perfectly okay. And then this brings me to my first formula. This brings me to my first formula. My final value is initial value 1 plus percentage change or 1 minus percentage change. In case it's percentage increase, I will say 1 plus percentage change by 100. In case it is percentage decrease, I will say 1 minus percentage change by 100. जो मैंने red part पे किया है. And very important point for you to note, percentage change is always calculated on the base of initial value. My percentage change will always be calculated on the base of initial value. So when I have a question, 540, just give me 1 second. Let me share it on screen. Right. If I have a question, 540 is 20% more than which value? 540 is 20% more than which value? I have two approaches here. And send me your answer on chat. First, 540 minus 20% of 540, which is 540 minus 108, which is 432. Or 540 is some initial value X into 1 plus 20 by 100. 540 is X into 120 by 100, solve it, and my X comes out as 450. Which one of them do you think is the correct one? A or B? Obviously, B is the correct one because percentage change always has to be on initial value. So 20% on 540 does not exist. 20% exists on some initial value, which I have assumed as X. So this is wrong approach. This is the correct approach. Which brings me to my second formula. When I rearrange, and we'll look at this in the next slide. When I rearrange this first formula, final value is initial value, 1 plus percentage change, or 1 minus percentage change by 100. I can come to my second formula, which says percentage change is equal to final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. Right. And frankly, these are the only two formulae in the entire percentage. Yes, there are a couple of shortcuts, but these are the only two formulae. The variables will change. The formula will remain the same. So take a minute and note these 3 points written on bottom right. And then we'll move on to next slide. We'll look at a couple of examples there. Right. This is something that you need to remember because it helps in easier calculation. The reciprocals, percentages, converting fraction to percentage. For example, and how is this used in practical questions? For example, when my question says 8.33% of 840, you don't really have to multiply 833 by 840. You have to remember that 8.33% is the standard representation for 1 by 12. So this number can be written as 1 by 12 into 840, which is now 70. If my question says 53.33% of 720, I should be able to break it as 50% plus 3.33%, which is half plus 1 by 30, which can be simplified as 16 upon 30 of 720, which means this answer is now 16 into 24, which is 384. So I can calculate these numbers quickly. I should be able to calculate these numbers quickly using this reciprocal. Next one, next example. Now let's understand this. A earns 65,000 rupees and B earns 52,000 rupees. A earns what percentage more than B? So A earns what percentage more than B? So A minus B is more than B. So my base is B into 100, which is 65,000 minus 52,000 upon 52,000 into 100. When I solve it, I will get my answer as 25%. Similarly, if my question was B earns what percentage more than A? So B minus A upon A into 100, 52K minus 65K upon 65K, this value will come out as minus 20. Don't worry about the negative sign. Negative sign just means 20% less. So this is 25% more. This is 20% less. Third, if A's salary is increased by 3 times, what would be his final salary? Now, at this point, you remember 2 phrases. First is by, second is to. When I use by, I'm basically referring to gap or increase or decrease. When I'm referring to the words to, I'm referring to the final value. So if A's salary increased by 3 times, A was initially 65,000. I increased by 3 times. Yani I added 3 into 65,000. 195,000 is what I added. So my final value will become 260,000 or 2,60,000 rupees. So remember the gap between, difference between by and to. Then the next question. My next question says, in a class, 30% students are boys, while the rest are girls. If 40% boys and 20% girls are toppers, find the percentage of toppers in the class. Now remember this. Whenever all the data given to you is relative, you can assume any value. You can assume any value and it will give me the same answer. All the data is relative and you have to find the relative value only. Assume any value, it will give me the same answer. I am beginning with assuming 100. So let me assume there are 100 students in the class. So my number of boys will be 30. My number of girls will be 70. Just give me 1 sec, please. So when I assume my number of boys as 30 and girls as 70, 40% of boys are toppers. So I will have 12 boy toppers. 20% of girls are toppers. I will have 14 girls toppers. Total number of toppers is 26 on a base of 100 into 100. My answer will be 26%. If you assume any other value, your final answer will still be the same. For example, if I use X with each one of these numbers, my final answer will still remain 26%. So back to the same point, when all the data is relative, answer to be found is relative. You can assume any value and you will get the same answer. Last one on the concept, and then we'll try a slightly different variation. If A is 20% more than B, then B is what percentage less than A? All the data relative. I have to find a percentage answer only. So I'm letting B as 100. Therefore, A will become 120. Why? Because it's 20% more. Then B is what percentage less than A? So B minus A upon A into 100, which will become 120, which will become 100 minus 120 upon 120 into 100, because in this case, my base has to be A than A in comparison to A, which will now come out as negative 16.67% or 16.67% less. Hopefully there is no doubt till this point. If there's any doubt, let me know on chat. Now let me change the variety. Till now I've been talking about percentage increase and decrease. Next one. Population of a city grew from 20 lakh to 22 lakh. Find the percentage change. Population of a city grew from 20 lakh to 22 lakh. Find the percentage change. So what's my percentage change? My percentage change is final value minus initial value upon initial value into 100. which is 22 lakh minus 20 lakh upon 20 lakh into 100 comes out as 10%. Abhi yahan pe please observe one thing, because I know I have to find a relative data. I didn't really need to write lakh. I could have just simply done 22 minus 20 upon 20 into 100 would still have given me the same answer. So I can save some time on my calculations in case I want to. Last question, and then let me take up doubts, whatever doubts you may have. Question says population of a town was 43,700 in 2010, and in the next 2 years it increased by 20% and 25%. Find the overall percentage change. Now I'm giving you a couple of minutes to calculate this, and then I'll give you the answer. Whichever approach you want to use, there may be a couple of approaches. I'll show you them. Send me answer, and then we'll discuss. Now, first approach, many of you have said 43,700 increased by 20%, and then new population increased by 25%. What will be my overall percentage change? So 43,000 increased by 20% will give you the value of 52440. And then this increase by 25% will give you the value of 65550. And between the two of them, this is my initial value. This is my final value. I can say that there is a 50% increase. That's my first approach. Actually, it doesn't matter whether I do 25% first or 20% first. My answer will be same. Let me show you. 43,700. When I increase by 25%, I get the value of 54625. And this new number, when increased by 20%, will give me value of 65550. Between these, obviously this is still 50% increase. Or because I observed that my initial value and final value are all that I want. All the given data is in percentage. I need an answer in percentage. So why to bother with 43,700? Why can't I let my population as 100? Increase by 20% becomes 120. Increase by 25% becomes 150. And between 100 and 150, there's a 50% increase. There's another way to do this question, but that we'll discuss in the next concept. This is a net 50% increase, whichever way we try. Hopefully this part is clear to everybody. Now let's take a couple of questions for us to practice.